Hey y'all, welcome back to Unison League. Hey y'all, welcome back to. Hey y'all, welcome back. Stupid. Hey y'all, welcome back to Unison League. Today we're gonna be talking about elemental fields. Today I'm just lounging around in my room, my Evangelion room. Evangelion collab just ended, so hopefully y'all had fun during that collaboration. I know I did. They had some cool stuff going. They had Coliseum. They had Mobius. They also collabed. The only thing they didn't have was the 9-man raid, which they had the first time around. It's pretty OP. I like the 9-man raids. I wish they would have brought that. And I wish they had. They had this cool extreme run that was very hard. And we actually had to develop a new strategy to cheese it, the null strategy, null stack or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, today we're going to be talking about elemental fields and the cool thing about them and how awesome they are. And, there's basically three types of elemental field. There's the regular elemental field, there's the upgrade, which is the gene field, and there's the Seraphic field, which is the overall best field in the game right now. For all events, Seraphic field is the one you want, usually up at all times. Only time that Seraphic field is taken out is when you have the gene field for that advantage against that particular run. And again, gene field is versus Seraphic field. It's just dependent on the composition of your team and what you're trying to do. Basically, the only time Seraphic field is outclassed is when the gene field is the advantage field, and of course the regular field. So let's take a look at Kenshin. She is the light field warlord. She gives you 120-second light field defense advantage against the opposing team. It lasts for 120 seconds. It basically mitigates the overall damage of all dark monsters. And time monsters now, since time, couple months ago, they released an update where time is now weak against light and dark. So light field is advantageous against dark and time. So if you're doing a time run or you're doing a dark run, you want the light field just for the added defense. Let's take a look at Kenshin Wiki. Now, she has all these other effects, but what we're going to look is right here where it says applies the light element for 120 seconds. This is the basic field, elemental field, that they all give. It lasts for 120 seconds. And this is just a basic field. All this other stuff is just dependent on that particular monster, what that does. There's the upgraded, the higher, the better light fields, which gives the user and sometimes the team better advantage for that particular run. But they all basically do the same thing: 120 seconds defense against the opposing element. So yeah, now let's take a look at Starfield Leviathan. Leviathan's OP monster, y'all. Now, she applies Starfield for 120 seconds. Now, the only time you want to use Starfield is when you're doing a light or a dark run. It gives you 120-second advantage, defensive advantage against those particular elements. So, Starfield, get right against light and dark. Not so great against time. Now, what's cool about these fields is when you have them up, and for instance, let's say you have the star field up, like you're doing a PvP Coliseum or duel, you have that star field up. Most of the time, that star field is going to mitigate the unison damage of the opposing team. If it's light or dark, it's going to mitigate it usually down to 0, just dependent on your GS. If your GS is high enough, it's going to mitigate all that damage to 0, as long as that field is up, which is pretty OP, y'all. You're going to see, like for instance, someone throws And Odin, Odin's usually a one-shot monster, the first hero monster. He paralyzes, does all this whack-ass stuff. It's really OP. You got that star field up that Odin's going to do like, pew, 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 pew. Now, again, if that person's a whale and he has like super high GS and, it's probably going to tell you still if your GS is kind of low and you don't have any elemental advantage in your set to defend against dark, you might still get one shot even once the star field up or the light field. But yeah, star field 120 seconds, great against light and dark. All right, so basically, same things can be with wind, water, your basic fields, 120 seconds. So let's go take a look at, here's fire field. Prometheus, she's the next level fire field. Nothing really basically different what she does when it comes to field wise. The only thing different about her is all the other bonus stuff she gives to the user and the team. So you don't have to worry about all this stuff. We're just talking about fields right now. So anyways, Prometheus fire field. So let's take a look at the upgrade to the field, which is the Gene field. Gene field is OP, y'all. I'm telling you. If you're doing like this right here, Parzival, she is the Gene fire monster. Gene field. Gene fire field. What the fire field Gene does is quite a bit. It applies the Gene, increases max HP by 40%, increases defense and magic defense by 40%, and increases fire elemental damage attack by 8. Now, all the Genes going to basically do the same thing for the elements. It's going to be the water Gene. It's going to do almost the same thing, plus that 8 stack elemental attack. That what makes Gene field pretty good. 8 stack. Pretty dang good. But what makes Gene field even better is just right below it. And increases fire elemental defense by 100. This changes your base. Like if you have 100 fire defense, they change your 100 to 200, which makes you a tank. This is usually what whales have in their basics. So they're going to usually have like a 200 defense, 250, 300. This is going to add 100 on top of that. This is going to make you tanky. It's going to make you survivable. And with an 8 stack buff, it's going to make you strong. This is what makes a Gene field really OP, y'all. If you're doing a win event, you're going to pretty much want the fire Gene just so you can survive. This would make even the older 35 cost, 40 cost win events. Fire Gene is OP, y'all. Let alone what the monster Parzival does. You don't have to worry about all that junk. You're just going to look at what the Gene actually does right here. Is OP Gene. Yeah. All right. Now let's take a look at Aerial. Best field in the game, y'all. Aerial, I call it Aerial field. It's called Seraphic field. Let's take a look at it. All right. Seraphic applies Seraphic element for 120 seconds to the field, increases stats by 40%, increases elemental attack by 4, increases HP by 40%. This, it gives you a lot for just one field. It adds, and Seraphic field is all elements in one. So, for instance, if you're running a light event, it's going to give you that dark advantage. It's going to give you that star advantage. It's going to give you 2 advantages against the element. It's OP. And not only that, it gives you the stat bonus, HP bonus. It's going to, it's OP. Your HP is going to change to red because you can get 40% more. It gives you a elemental stack. And it's OP. It's just the best field, man. You're running time event, you're going to have that light and dark advantage with the Seraphic field. If you're running star, you're going to have that time advantage. Since star is only weak against time, you can run either one. You can run the time field or Seraphic field, but in the end, the Seraphic field is going to be better because you get that added stat buff and the HP buff. The only thing better than the Seraphic field is the Gene field, and even then, that's dependent on the composition of your team and what you're trying to do, and depending if you want a match, unison match. Most time you do want a unison match because you're on a time restraint. So Safari field is usually the green is usually safe for aerial, and that's the go-to field for a lot of people. Best field in the game. There's only 2 monsters right now in Unison League that give the Safari field. That's Aerial and Star Vicari. And between the 2, Ariel's still the better monster. The only thing better about the Star Vicari is she gives you cost. And she removes stuff from the enemy. But she gives you blessing, and the difference between blessing and hero is, that's a different topic for another day. So anyways, Seraphic field, best field in the game. You got the basic elemental field, 120 seconds, all elements. You got star field, advantage against 2 elements. You have the upgraded field, the gene field, which is OP, dependent on the run you're doing and the elements you're fighting against. And then you got the OP Spark field. So anyways, that's it, y'all. Hope you enjoy, hope you learn stuff, and I'll talk to you next time. So yeah, let me just do a little wave. No, that's not a wave. Here, no, that's a jump. Here it is. All right, y'all. Peace out.